and he took, what's the Negro used to be over there? Jahari Abdul, he took his side. To them, they was looking at it like, oh, two African Americans, you guys can never get along. I said, that ain't what it is. This is a nigga here. This is a tattletale, a stooge. And y'all like him because he's telling y'all what you want to hear. And the reason you leaning away from me and toward him, it don't make no difference what I do. And the same people lean away from us. I mean, if I have their family there and we raise funds, and you know what those people said? Some of these people were from AMC down there. And they said, yes, they raised so much money, and it was such a modest place, a little place. You know how they people talk. It was it is modest. But we come up with all of that money, and they ain't nobody hooking them up with nothing, you know. Basically, this As-Sabiqun stuff is really, really real. The color thing is really, really, really real. But we have a mission and a work to do. We're not going to well, anyway, that's some of the work at the building that Mukhtar sold, all the tile and stuff like that. Yeah, I'll close with these two pictures. This is just 1/5 of the place. That's when you walk looking from the door at one address, and you look back and you see tile, beautiful tile. You can see all the way through a kitchen we had, all the way back to a place at carpet. And the other place is fresh carpet laid down. And no, it's a big place. Those are just as much as the camera could pick up. But the point is, we did all of that ourselves. Not ourselves. We just did 80% of this work. This is the same building that we was going to let the Arabs use. This is the back of one of the buildings, and this is the front of the other. You would have to put them together like that. And that's the way it is. Oh, in fact, this is taken from the kitchen. And in that back room, yeah. And all the other pictures are from way out in the front, because this is a long building. Anyway, all this, you can see, it's brand new, and it's space in here, because just where we are, you know. The point is, we don't have the correct attitude for them, and we praying to Allah that we never pick it up, their right attitude. Is it complicated? Of course it's complicated. You want to help everybody. But you know, technically, we've had enough experience to know how people are. They are the way they are. What do people think about black people? If you can convince this girl right here that she's ugly and black, and you heard me talking to Sister Bahia. Yeah, it's just, they wanted her, the family wanted us to talk first, Sister Bahia. Tell her that she's not ugly. Tell her that she's not. And she's got to convince the girl. Ugly. And then when I take it back to these, I got pictures of a lot of the youngsters. Where they at? The foreigners. Hey man, what's going on? Who's that? He's just a Hafiz. Well, where is that? South Africa. I just got back. Anything you can do, you know, because they don't mind fixing up marriages. That's the only thing any of them said. because they all from here, and they all of these tribal people, the Arabs, Indian. Hey, man, what's happening? So finally I told her what I said. She's a little shy because they told her she was ugly. Ugly? What? And she's a Hafiz of Quran? So yeah, the whole family, that's one of their rituals, they Hafiz of Quran. They drop us through Negro areas, even in South Africa. And the point is, that's the Masjid in Egypt where you saw Malcolm praying on the red carpet. This right here, I think that's the Ibrahimi Masjid, something like that, yeah. But anyway, and yeah, this is the crew right here. All of these guys wanted to know, who is the sister, man? These guys, they all, you can see they all from that crew. Right. Hey man, what's going on? And they all a similar age. I said, no, you can't get with her because she's ugly. They wanted to fight. Well, they wanted to wrestle. They don't fight. This crew, the As-Sabiqun crew, I guess in their culture, they wrestle more. And I looked at them wrestling, they be pulling each other. And I said, good God Almighty. I was getting a little older then. I said, man, I couldn't stand it. They just putting the hand on the neck and pushing back. Wrestling, real wrestling, not that the stuff they do. But the point, I want to close with this. We've been around, and out of the 8 wonders of the world, we done probably seen 6 or 7 of them, at least. Even Niagara Falls on. But we don't fit into the public picture that they have. And we're not going to. I mean, this is one of the main prayers that we have. Oh Allah, help me not to be like them. Not to be like them. Whatever else comes, we just don't want to be like that. Okay. Now, that means that Allah then gave us a chance to choose our position. And everybody that that was a TV, reason I showed y'all a picture of Imam Abdullah Harun, because there was Brother Saifuddin was telling me, yeah, man, did you know Abdullah Harun? I said, I knew of him. And I know his followers, because he have a group of followers. They're still in South Africa now. That's why they had his picture on his table. And that means that if you associate with them, they have a body of ideas that go along. Imam Muhammad Abdullah Harun, he was killed in 1969. And in Cape Town, he worked mostly a lot with Africans, and that's where some of our pictures with some of his followers who were African. I didn't bring them, but anyway, we have all kind of hustlers. These are people, legacy of Malcolm X. Maybe they want a job back home. And you go back home now in Iran and you'll see these people, they're experts on America. They have programs, they have a program. And the brother that's really big over there, when he came over here, the doctor said, hey, we want you to just take him around America and show him what. So I said, yeah, so man, we went to Boston and we got all, hey man, we was all right out here too. And I said, okay, you can take pictures of this and I'll explain to you what's going on. But you look European, white basically. He looks like a Swede or something. I said, so if they catch us, they gonna think we the police taking pictures, He got his pictures. He went back and he did a 12-hour program on our trip. And since then, he's been the #1 man in the whole Iranian broadcasting system. That's how he got there. He showed those 12 hours. And when I would go to Iran 20, 25, 20 something years ago, they would all know me because of those programs. Well, they didn't forget now, but the point is this. It is a feeling of liberation when you're not tied to those type of restraints. This is one of the reasons, like they have a lot of movie stars and stuff in Hollywood, and all the big movie stars, the women had to sleep with these movie moguls, and then most of them was Jews that just got over here and they got into something, and they would show this spectacular white woman that has all type of character and strengths and beauty, and then she'd have to sleep on the couch with the old ugly movie mogul. And this bothered them. You know what I mean? That's why you would get sleeping pills and all of that, because they're pretending, they're playing this on the movie, and in real life, they got to sell themselves to get that, and that which they get is not worth what they sold themselves for. All the people around have that problem. We don't have that problem. And we pray to Allah that we don't never have that problem. Because that's a problem that it's not necessarily fixable, because you helped create it. And you allowed all the Me Too white women. Me Too, Me Too. Well, when was this stuff started? It was 1962. Some of them is older people like Donald Trump. You see them white women, then they got to show you a young picture. Why? The hell, it was 40 years ago, it was 30 years ago, right? And they say, this is what happened to me, and oh, by the way, this is how I looked then, not now. Old granny looking lady. Okay, Me Too, why they put up with it that long? They wait till it's safe to come out. We're not waiting till there's nothing safe to come out. On the day of judgment, it ain't no safe spot on the day of judgment, but in the truth line. You're in the truth line, good, you got a shot. But that line that they got, they can keep it. This is the only point. That's why what do we call the program today? The color of liberation. The color of liberation technically don't have no color. It just has a name. The color of liberation, hey man, is the color of freedom. And that's the program we want to be involved in. I didn't mean to ramble, but I wanted to put forward where we've been, what we've been around, and how we're digesting it. We've digesting it like that then, and we're not getting worse, we're getting better. We're evolving, because maybe way back when it might have been one thing or another, but as we get closer to today, it's getting stronger and better. And we just pray to Allah, we don't want to be like them. If they bring this little weak stuff out like this must have been Detroit. I remember the whole program. It might have been 2009. And pretty soon the brothers are not inviting us anymore, because the white man done sit there and watch, and they interviewed us more than they did their own people. And this is the same type of stupid stuff when they go and get Medea Benjamin and all those people. You know why they get them? Because they put them on TV every now and then. Just like Answer. Everybody that on their network, they hooked up. Everybody that went to Sudan with us, I'm telling you, what's the name them was there? Over at WPFW and all of that. And he's mentioning to me, now don't forget to say something about the minister. Hell, it must be crazy. You know what I mean? They're seeing what's going on, and they don't mention it to nobody. They mention only the people's card that they got in their shirt pocket. If it's the ministers, that's who they talk about. If it's somebody else, that's who they talk about. And they're going to have to live with them wherever the next stop is. So are there any questions or comments? And I apologize for semi-rambling, but I wanted to make the point about the color and the importance. And we're not going to be blocked by color. We're not going to be stopped by color. We know how people feel about us as a people. And we know that'll stop or slow down when we get stronger and better. Yeah.
Well, that's what it seems like now when you talk about that particular group and how they felt mistreated. From that, it seems that now the African American Muslim is focused on that now. That seems to be the rallying cry that they're getting behind. How they've been mistreated by one group. Now they want to figure out how they put themselves in a better position. That's the talk.
That's the talk, but see, it's not functional because the reason is there anyone that escaped that jumped over that hole and didn't get splashed water on? We did. So if they were serious, the first thing they would do is come and say, yeah, man, we blew that one. What do you think the next good thing would be? What could we do? Since you missed it, you're the only one that survived all of that, or you're the one that went through all of it and just kept on moving. You ain't mad at nobody. You don't hate nobody. That's just the way it is. What would you think would be a good move for us now? If they were real, that's what they would say. And if it was widespread, some of the mention would get to somebody. You know what I mean? In other words, if that's the talk that's going around and it's really going around, then somebody would say, hey man, why y'all ain't never said nothing to Musa about none of this? He talks about this every week, right? Right. Well, I like what we're doing. I like what we've done, and I like the way we feel and respond to things that happen. And we're not going to let nobody blow us up one day and they media, and the next day they don't know who they are, who we are, you know. That's what they did, and so they'll keep suffering until you go take the medicine or whatever it is that resolves the problem. You're just gonna have that problem, you know. And that's the way it is. One thing I'd like to say in this to everybody, we let's call this a petty fundraiser. Petty fundraiser means that we would like for you to do several things. Number one is send us a little note about what you think about the program, the programs that we have. Number two, put some money in it. And number three, put just a little amount that you put in there. And as time go on, we'll make a little announcement about, and we'll mention in our own roundabout way about that amount of money. And you can hear. That way, if you don't hear it, you know somebody got it out of the mailbox, right? Or you pretended to send it, right? Or whatever, it's okay. Also, we want like to have